heal. Sorry. Hush while you heal. Okay. Whenever you're going through hard, it is very important to be still and still in the sense of don't freeze, but don't make any rash decisions, right? Be still and listen. Be quiet and listen. What in the world is that obstacle trying to teach you? I used to be the first one to be fiery, to fight, to make a petty post, to go live, to argue. And I learned that if my mouth is so busy talking about the hard, my ears can't hear the lesson. And I will tell you something else I've learned, that God will recycle the hard if you don't get the lesson. It will happen. Look back on your life. How many of you have found yourself in the same situation? It's like same song and dance. It's because you're missing the lesson and whatever it may be. And for me, I mean, I could sit here and write a book over the lessons that I ignored and I kept my behaviors and I wasn't listening for the lesson. So hush while you heal is one of the smartest things I've ever heard. Is when you're going through the hard, be quiet, be still, don't freeze, don't stop living, don't stop putting one foot in front of the other, don't stop working your business, don't stop showing up for your marriage or for that friendship, but just be still in that moment. No, you don't have to have an answer immediately, and figure out what that obstacle is trying to teach you. I'm going to give you an example. So in 2018, 2018, I knew my upline was leaving. I don't know how I knew. I have like this really, really strong intuition that I never listened to until recently, until I got sober. I literally would be like, oh God, I need another sign. And he's like, girl, like, I may give you a flashing neon sign. Like, what else do you need? And I'm like, oh, no, but I need it to be in red, not yellow. So I have a very strong gut intuition, and I would beg to say that some of you probably do too. Most of you, if you're a leader, it's one of your superpowers that you probably aren't tapping into, or maybe you are. And I would just not listen to it. For some reason, in that moment, I got really still and I got really quiet, and I knew he was leaving. And my husband, I remember people telling me I was crazy. My team, I went to like 2 of my leaders and they were like, you're crazy. My husband was like, Courtney, you're paranoid, like stop. Like, and I'm like, no, he is, and I'm going to be okay. He left. I went from a $750,000 team to an $80K team in a matter of months. Hardest time in my business in that moment. There was going to be a lot of hard that came after that, but it's so freaking crazy. I was telling my friends this in the pool yesterday. So that was on December 10th of 2018. December 10th of 2021, same day, okay? Same day, I find out that my #1 GOAT award winner on my team, literally y'all, the same damn day, is doing the same thing. And in that moment, I didn't get upset. I knew I got to be the person on the other side of the phone for her team. I knew I got to look at her team and say, you'll still be a millionaire. You're still going to cross the stage. This is going to suck. But I knew, because I was quiet during that really, really hard time in my business, and I looked for the opportunity during an obstacle, I was going to be able to help somebody else. Here's the thing. If you shut down, if you get ugly during the hard times in your life, if you check out, if you don't take it for what it's worth, you're not going to be able to help the person that I promise you God has put on your path. I can remember sitting on the phone with very specific individuals going, oh my God, I was you. Oh my God, I was you 3 years ago. Oh my God, I know how you feel. And I thought, I never was like, God, why? But I thought, okay, there's a reason why I'm going through this. There's a reason why my business is falling so hard. There's a reason. And I thought, oh my God, this is why. Like, how many of you have had that time in your life where you were like, okay, this all makes sense now, because it is a full circle moment and you were able to help somebody through that obstacle that you decided not to let knock you down and render you helpless. Okay. I always say whenever you have an obstacle, I view it as like you're on this journey, you're on this path, but you get to decide whether that bump in the road throws you completely off the road or just gives you a flat tire. And you get to air it up and you get to get what you need, your resources, whatever. Maybe you don't have a tire. Maybe you got to drive on a donut until you get to a tire shop, like whatever it may be. But you get to decide if it throws you off your track, like completely, and you abort your mission, or if you view it for what it is. I looked around the room this weekend and there was not one leader that I met, and there was a lot of leaders I met that I want to be like, but there wasn't one of them that didn't cry at some point this weekend, that didn't talk about their heart, that didn't talk about losing team members, that didn't talk about losing auto elite or not having it yet. Or you know what they talked about? They talked about opportunity for growth. They talked about things that they were going to do better. They talked about things they were going to start doing that they hadn't been doing. And that's a growth mindset. That is someone who looks at everything in their business, in their life, as an opportunity to get better. And so when you're going through those hard, because I promise you, you will go through hard. You will go through really freaking hard. Okay, hold on. I'm going to interrupt myself. I do this all the time. I have another thought. Guess who wasn't in that room? People that quit when it got hard. Millionaires, 200Ks, 4Ks, 12Ks, people that walked away and they missed the assignment. They didn't get the lesson. And I'm sorry, I'll go toe to toe with anyone, and y'all may think I'm crazy. I won't talk down upon you, but I will tell you, you quit when your team needed you the most. You quit when you were about to have your breakthrough. And here's why I see it in my back office all of the time. I am never going to hold anyone hostage. I'm never going to make people be a thriver for life if they don't want to be here. But that's why my rule is, do not make decisions when you're hurting. Don't make decisions whenever you first see that obstacle. Hush while you heal. Try and figure it out. I tell my team all the time, don't go buy a new house whenever you get your best paycheck and try and get approved for a loan that supports that number one best paycheck would support for that year. And don't quit on your lowest paycheck. You cannot operate life in just the highs and in just the lows. Like, you can't do it. It makes you make choices that you regret. I'm going to tell you, yesterday, my phone went off, and it's so crazy, Starla. I haven't told you this yet. So I talked about on stage that 3 of my 200Ks, personal 200Ks, turned off their account within a matter of, like, I think 10 days of each other. And it was really hard not to take that personal. FYI, this was just like last month. And I immediately was like, well, I suck. Clearly, I'm a bad leader. And here's what I know. I never portray myself as a perfect leader. I am a learning leader. And so I can't say, well, I'm a bad leader, or it was me. Why? Because that's a pride problem. That's a pride problem. And I told Maria that, and I told Jason that, and I told Cliff that, and I told some of my friends that. I said, I'm really struggling with my pride right now. I know it'll be okay. I've been in way, way, way deeper of valleys than this. I'm really struggling with my pride right now and what people will think if 3 of Courtney's personally enrolled 200Ks deuced out on her. Because it doesn't matter if they were like, no, we loved Courtney. Like, what is that going to do to my image? I have no control over that. I have literally no control over that. And I had to go, okay, what's the real problem with this obstacle is that I need to learn to swallow my pride. And so instead of throwing in the towel, giving up, I literally was like, okay, what have you struggled with a lot? And it's my pride, because I'm a very prideful person. I'm very proud of what I've built. But if I can't swallow my pride, I knew I couldn't go to that next level. And I knew that that was the characteristic of a leader that I was missing. And so I remember telling Maria, she's like, you're going to be okay. And I was like, I am going to be okay. I'm like, it's my pride. I'm like, it's my pride. I'm going to have to swallow it. And I know that. And I'm not embarrassed to tell y'all that. I was like, Great. What are people going to say about me? Well, guess what? People are talking to anyways. Like, oh, who cares? You know, I'm not here for them. I'm here to change lives. I'm here so that that person calls me or messages me on their first day of thriving and says, oh my God, is this stuff legal? I feel amazing. That's what I'm here for. Okay. I'm not here so that people know that Courtney's created all these leaders. Who cares? I have no control over that. I didn't make them. I was lucky enough to meet them and guide them and mentor them. So I just want to mention that because that was a really hard obstacle these last few weeks in my business. So anyways, I'm sitting in bed last night and my phone goes off and it's, hey KG, how are you? And I was like, let me call you. And I was like, this girl is either going to, I don't know, be really mad at me for who knows what, or she wants to come back. Like there's no in between. Knowing this girl, she's one of my dear friends, and she's like, yes, absolutely. And I call her and she's like, I miss you. I miss the community. I'm thriving for the first time in months today. Why did I turn off my account? And I just started bawling. And I'm like, I love you so much. And I loved you enough to let you go and make your own mistake and to let you learn through this obstacle in your life and in your business, because I felt like you were a teenager running away from home. You always know where I live. And if you wanted to come back, you were gonna, and you knew my door was always going to be open. And we talked, and it was just such confirmation that you cannot, on your hardest day and on your hardest obstacle, throw in the towel and stop doing what you're doing here. So many times I ask myself, I look in the mirror and I say, would I stop if that obstacle wasn't here? And if the answer is no, then you keep going, because whether you have a day where you enroll 5 people or you have 5 customers message you that they can't afford it anymore, your action steps should align with your mission, not with your circumstances, not with what's going on in your business or in your life. Your action steps should align with your mission. Even if, I want you to think about this. So this was really hard for my husband to kind of get through his head, because if you're like me, hello, like I'm learning balance, but I'm a workaholic. I freaking love to work. I've worked since I was 14. Like if there was a free hour in the day, I'm like, who can I babysit for? I love to work. I didn't grow up with a lot of money. Money was always an issue. And so I had this mindset of like, okay, I want more. I want more. Dang it, I forgot what I was going to say. I always do this. Hold on. I had a point. This is what happens whenever I freestyle, you know, and I don't like go by my notes. I can't remember what I was going to say. Starla, what was I saying?
Well, you were talking about your husband not understanding it, but you were talking about your action steps aligning with your mission.
I remember. Thank you. Okay. See, this is why we got each other. So he would say, well, one day you won't have to work so hard. Probably not, but I will. Why wouldn't I? Like, I have a responsibility to take this blessing that I have and pass it to the next person. I heard this from Katie Coberline, is you are literally holding somebody's 6-figure blessing in the palm of your hand. And when you don't show up, you can't show it to them. And I'm like, oh, so I like look at Jay and I'm like, I hate to break it to you, buddy. This girl messaged me on Instagram yesterday. She's like, you will 100% be 80 years old in your retirement home in the clubhouse slinging Thrive. And I was like, I absolutely will, because we have a responsibility to change that next life. It's not a responsibility that's a burden. It's a responsibility that's a blessing, you know, whether or not my whole team is with me tomorrow, or they decide, I said this on stage, to go and sell fidget spinners. But here's something else that I want to tell you. One of my leaders told me, and this was a huge aha moment for me whenever I was going through doubts and all of these things. And she was telling me that she was having this conversation. She's one of my 80K leaders. She's on here right now. She was having a conversation with a lady on her team. And the lady was like, yeah, but so-and-so's left. And yeah, but so-and-so's left. And it was Alexis. And Alexis said, I don't think you understand. I love Thrive so much. I don't give a shit if Courtney left. I'm still here. And you have to understand, Alexis is like one of my best friends. Like we have been friends. Our daughters are friends. We vacation. Like, not that I'm not friends with my whole team, but we were friends way before Thrive. And I thought, that's the kind of conviction that I'm looking to work with and to partner with and to surround myself with, because she knows why she's here, regardless of the highs, regardless of the lows. And I thought, that's it. That's it. So in a time where you feel like you're knocked down, where you feel like you have this obstacle, this objection, this person can't afford it, this person, doesn't message you back, keep going. My question for you is, what would you do if they did? Would you be done? And the answer is no. We wouldn't be done without the obstacles. So why are we done when we face them? I always think of, people that are like, I want to quit, my paycheck was low. And I was like, well, what if your paycheck was really high? Like, that's what you want. So why wouldn't you quit then? We don't get to quit on ourselves when times are hard. Man, I wish I had this. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Angel Mock dropped this quote in our chat from this weekend with all the leaders. And it gave me goosebumps. And hear me out. I'm not talking just about people quitting. I'm just saying in general, in life, when things get hard, you quitting on yourself. Are you going, oh, I don't want to get up and get on that meeting, or, oh, I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do today because it's uncomfortable, right? Whenever things are uncomfortable, that is where magic happens. Like, oh yeah, that's one of them. Okay. The best teams are made up of a bunch of nobodies who love everybody and serve anybody, but don't care about becoming somebody. Like Lindsay said that was, I want that like on a t-shirt, on a bumper sticker. Like that was so good. Okay, hold on. There was something that Angel said. It was a quote by Martin Luther King, and it was, okay. She said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moment of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. I'm going to read that one more time. The ultimate measure of a man is where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience. Is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. You guys, that is the defining moment in your life, in your marriage, where how you are whenever you go through the hard with your children, with your friends, whenever you have conflict at your job. How are you going to behave, and how are you going to handle the hard in life? I tell my team all of the time, I don't want someone helping me through a storm that jumps out of my boat whenever lightning first strikes. I want to know the person and be around the people in life in general, my friend circle, my community, my family, that's like, all right, we got to strap on our seatbelt. What do you need help with? In life, those are the people that I want to surround myself with, and that's the community that I want. And here's the thing, I want to be that person. So if you're going, well, maybe I don't have those people around. I said this in my post the other day. I dare you, go create it. It starts with one. It starts with one. You attract the way you think. So you be that person. You create that safe spot. You create that community. You create that, hey, I'm going to be the person that doesn't give up, or, hey, I'm going to be the person that forgives, or, hey, I'm going to be the person in life that whenever there's an obstacle, I'm going to look for the opportunity and the lesson. It starts with you. And so you may not have it. I will tell you, to be quite honest with you, it was the book. What's the book, guys, on my team that's on here? I tell you, I make up titles of books because I can never remember. It's like Choose Your People, Find Your People. What is it called? It's the yellow book. My team knows. They'll drop it in here. That book changed my life of how find your people. There you go, Mel. Thank you. That book changed my life of not just like taking inventory of what was around me, but taking inventory of what I was losing sleep over, right? Guys, I will tell you right now, this world, this life is worth fighting for. There is something so beautiful on the other side of your hard. I wish I could show you. I wish I could show you what it'll look like a year from now when you persevere. I wish, but what fun would that be? Because then you wouldn't have to walk by faith. You have to walk by faith in everything you do in life, whether it is a hard time in your marriage, a hard time with your child. You have to walk by faith. You have to know your best days are ahead of you and not behind you. And you have to be convicted enough to know that and to step and put one foot in front of the other, even when the ground feels shaky. If we knew what was going to happen, we would all end up at, our ideal destination. That's not the way life works. We can't determine our future. We can determine our future. We can't see it. Okay. So put one foot in front of the other, keep going. If an obstacle knocks you down, get back up, no matter what it is. I promise you, the people with the most have the most to lose. I always think of this when people are like, my volume's down. I go, I wonder if Paul's is. Duh. If the company is, or the industry is going through a hard time and your volume's down, I bet Paul's is too. He's not quitting. And that was something that I really had to learn the hard way. I called Maria Dillard one time and I was like, I just had a 4K leave. And in true Maria fashion, she didn't tell me this in this blunt of a way, but basically she's like, how are you going to get where I am if you're crying over $4,000 in volume? And it was her being like that towards me. She wasn't insensitive. She was like, think bigger, zoom out, baby girl, like zoom out. I had a girl yesterday telling me, she said, how many orders do I need to make $1,000? And I said, if you have that kind of goals and you have that kind of mindset, I need you to zoom out. I was like, I can't tell you. I don't know what people are going to order. But if you understand that by changing a life creates an income, I need you to zoom way out, sis, way out. And let's look at a much bigger picture than just $1,000. It's not discounting those small obstacles or those small goals, but I'm telling you, whenever you can see the bigger picture and you can see that that obstacle in the road is literally a tree branch and not like a tower has fallen over, and you know, God's like, hello, you can jump over this obstacle, like you don't even need a ladder. Keep going. Keep going, because number one, it's worth it. I promise you, a better day is coming. I've never met anyone in network marketing that's like, well, I stayed, I stuck it out, and I was positive, and I poured into my team and this and that, but things just got worse. I've never met someone that's like, well, I do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 every single day. I'm excited. But you know what? Back in 1993, I changed my last life. It's just crazy. That's not how this works. You have to keep going. You have to persevere. You have to push through any obstacle. Obstacles are opportunities for you to put something new. And hey, Olive, put something new in your tool belt. I think of like, okay, this is a resource. This is an obstacle. How are we going to make it through? This is a resource that I'm going to be able to put in my toolbox, and I'm going to be able to help my next millionaire whenever she has this same obstacle. Oh, here's another hard time. I'm going to be able to help one of my leaders, because I promise you, you can't go to a place where you haven't experienced that next level, that next breakthrough, because you won't be able to help someone else. Imagine this. You make it to the very top. You've never fallen down. You literally skip to my Lou across the stage and get your millionaire sign. And you know, you have no bruises, no cuts, no stress. It's never been hard. That doesn't exist. And if it did, who's going to learn from you? Nobody. What you're going through is literally your roadmap to success. And you're going to be able to point someone else in the right direction whenever they come to that turn in the road, whenever they come down, and there's that fallen tree, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, listen, here's how I got over it. That's your superpower. Do not look at your obstacles as a dead end. That is your superpower. Okay, Starla, that's all I got.
Well, I doubt that, because I think we could all just listen to you all day long and learn so much and absorb so much. And I know you could speak to us and talk about so much more than that, but I know I'm super excited and pumped up. Y'all drop in the chat if you know, heard something you needed to hear, if it warmed your heart, if it fired you up. Let Courtney know that we appreciate her. I know I do so much. Here are the things that I just wrote down, and I was just writing down things as like it was coming out. Be around people who inspire you. You guys, be around people who are inspiring you. If you are walking around saying, woe is me, poor pitiful me, I can't give away Thrive for free. Y'all know how many times I've heard that? If you're trying to give away Thrive for free, you're talking to the wrong stinking people. Has nothing to do with you, has nothing to do with Thrive. It has to do with the people you're reaching. You're pushing people that aren't ready. You're pushing people that don't have what or don't need what you have yet, or they don't realize it. So get out of that mindset. Stop talking to people that are going to stay in that tunnel with you. You want to talk to people that are going to pull you out, that are going to lift you up. If your upline is always negative and they're always complaining or they're always talking about being a hot mess, that's not who you need to be talking to every day. Talk to people and be around people who inspire you. I love that. Struggles make you stronger. Be still and listen. Don't miss the lesson. That is huge. That is so huge. I've got one person particularly on my mind that I'm thinking about right now that's on this Zoom, and I know she knows I'm talking about her. Listen for the lesson. You're going through something hard. God is trying to make you stronger. Open your heart and mind to that. I want to say this, Courtney. I cannot even imagine how hard it must be to have had 3 personally enrolled 200Ks leave. But how many people on this Zoom are just like, holy crap, she had 3 personally enrolled 200Ks? Like, congratulations for getting to that point, for even having leaders that you have attracted and you have helped to grow to reach that level. That just shows the power that you have as a leader. And, you know, this may not be the journey for them anymore, but you still touch them in such a way that their life is better. And you're going to keep on keeping on no matter what. We all know that anyway, but how freaking cool is it to have that many personally enrolled 200K? That is the dream for a lot of people. And that's what every single one of y'all have the opportunity to create here. If you do, like I said in the beginning, and sorry, you guys, I started the recording 10 minutes late. Oops. If you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about who you can impact today, you're thinking about this business, you wake up with that passion and fire, and you go to bed with the exact same passion and fire, you're going to end up being a Courtney Glaser one day. You're going to end up being a Lavelle millionaire and walking across that stage. Or maybe it's not even about that for you. Maybe you just want to get on the next getaway and be able to treat your husband to a free vacation, stress-free. Whatever your goal is, you can get there with this. And no matter what obstacles are thrown in your way, I mean, they're just going to make you stronger. And we just stay the course. You know, there's always times, especially people that have, you know, been around, like I've been here 8.5 years. So I have people that are still thriving with me that have been here, you know, maybe they hit a rank, lost a rank, still struggling to hit the rank that they ultimately know that they want to get to. And they know a lot of other thrivers from being on a lot of getaways or watching people speak on stage. And there's always this knit, like, did you hear he's leaving? Oh my gosh, did you know she left? Oh my gosh, what company did they go to? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did hear that. Oh, well, so who are we going to talk to today? Like, okay, say bye, wish them well, and you just keep going. And that goes for everyone. You know, maybe it's your customers that have been thriving nonstop for 6 months and have these amazing results. And then they're like, you know what? I'm going to go try this other shake. My friend told me blah, blah, blah. They'll be back. They'll be back. Love them where they're at. And just know it has nothing to do with you. They'll be back. Most of the time they come back. So those are things that I just really, really took away. Another thing Courtney said when she was talking about being in the nursing home and still sling and thrive, that is a visionary. I said something on this weekend on stage about that, like seeing the big picture and knowing it's bigger than what we are. But what I just took from that is this company and this product is going to be here for decades to come. When we talk about generational wealth for our families, we're not just saying words. Like that's what we're building here. We're building a legacy, a transferable, willable business for your kids and your family. And she just said it, like she already has pictured herself being 90 years old in a nursing home, still sling and thrive. And that's the first thing that I thought of was this company is here to stay. Like we are not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And that Lavelle is definitely not going anywhere. So I absolutely love that. I love everything about this Zoom. I know everyone does. I've been getting text messages and in the chats, people are just like, this is fire. I love it so, so much. Thank you again, everyone, for showing up today. Show up to go up. It's what I always say. And you can always, always, always be a sponge and learn. Courtney, thank you so much. Do you have any closing thoughts?
No, just like conviction, man. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like whenever you find something that you truly, truly, truly love, it doesn't matter if the newest, flashiest thing comes around that could, I know it sounds crazy, and I don't want to knock anyone else that this isn't their book and this is just their chapter, but for me, it's my book. It's my book, and it's like, sure, a 30-year-old cowboy can walk in my backyard right now looking real good. It doesn't matter. I have my husband, right? That's how I feel about this business. There's always going to be that new butterfly thing. And I'm not saying it's not for some people, but it's not for me. Here's why. I know that building a business takes hard work. I know it takes obstacles. I know it takes resiliency. I know it takes perseverance. I know that I want to work a business through the good times and the bad times so that it's here for a lifetime. Period. I'm not here for next Tuesday. I'm not here for next season. I'm here for generations to come. And I will tell you right now, my daughter drew a picture at school whenever they were talking about what they wanted to be whenever they grew up. And this was when she was in kindergarten. And I think how many of us are, maybe we shied away from saying we are a network marketer. My little Sammy at 5 years old drew that she was going to be a thriver when she grew up. And she drew capsules, a shake, and a black label, and stood up in front of her class. And she's like, I will be a thriver like my mom, and I will help change people's lives. And I thought, where is y'all's conviction like my 5-year-olds? That's where my conviction is. I want to be here. I want this dream to still be alive when I'm not. So that's all. That's it. I love y'all. Go kick butt. Let's have a great Monday and a great week.
You guys, real quick, I want to say, I heard on a podcast this morning, stop worrying about what other people think. Courtney just talking about MLMs or being afraid to mention that. It's crazy, blows my mind. Like, who cares? But stop worrying about what other people think, because, and this was Ed Milet that said this, they're not going to be there when you die. Like, literally when you die, all those people that you're worried about what they're thinking today about your post or what you're sharing or what you're selling or what you're wearing or what your hair looks like or whether or not you have a fever blister on your lip, like, really, they're too busy worrying about what you're thinking about them to worry about really what's going on with you. But those people that matter are going to be there when you die, or if not, God is. And that's what matters. He put you here in this time and this place for a reason. And that's what matters. So put all that aside, take your conviction, move forward with confidence. Just know you're in the right place. And another analogy that's really, really, really just keeps coming up is think about babies. Like, how many times when a baby's learning how to walk, do they fall down? And guess what they do? They get back up and they try again. As adults, why do we fall down once and then think we have to quit or we stop trying? So I'll close with this. There's a quote by Oliver Goldsmith: success is about getting up just one more time when you fall. So you guys remember that. Go have a great, great, great week. We'll see you here next week, same time, same place. Thanks so much, Courtney. Love you.